Ay, all I do is your mess. Ay, can't keep my yes. Ay, my don't love me no more. Ay, she kick me out on life, bro.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Introducing our first guest, a man who is a little too into dead animals.
So funny.
This man left school at the ripe age of 14 to pursue a career in taxidermy, aka he's a freak. Now, back in the Victorian era, where he reigned supreme, there was a high demand for stuffed animals. However, his museums were taken down due to claims of, what was it again? Animal cruelty. Thanks, Dan.
Problem.
So let's see how the man himself reacts to these claims. So, Harry Potter, it's very nice to meet you.
Thank you.
So, what do you think about modern art?
Well, I think many modern artists try to throw away from the idea of simulating reality and instead try to create their own. It's very interesting.
I think you're wrong, birdie boy. So how's your wife?
I don't have a life.
So you're single?
I prefer to focus on my work, thank you.
Alright. Then, screw you then. So, let's just say you have a stroke, right? Would you rather fight it and live a long, painful life, or just die quickly?
Well, that's oddly specific, but I take a quick death. Yeah.
Now, it's a good thing you never recover.
What?
So, you did a piece about cock robin called The Cock Robin and the Funeral. Well, can you tell me about that?
Well, there's a folk tale that revolves around the cock robin called All Who Killed the Cock Robin, and I took my inspiration from that.
But all the birds in the picture are dead. Why is one in a coffin?
I play around with dead animals and people like it, so get off my back.
Well, that's all the time we have for the jackass. Cut to commercial break, please. Now introducing our biggest failure, the Holy Roman Emperor Joseph II of Austria. This man has single-handedly alienated the most powerful people in his country and helped the poor, which only lasted for about a decade after his death. This man outlived both of his wives and aggressively tried to take lands from other countries and failed every single time. Now I present to you Joseph II of Austria. So how's your dead wives?
Why do you keep making fun of me?
I can't wait, TBH, for your country, servants, and your family to just ditch you.
Well, they would never do that.
Yeah, well, I got a present for you. You might want to read up on this. You can keep that, by the way. So, what do you think about your country's economic policies, or this country's economic policies? No one cares about Austria.
I think it works well for the United States, but I think I had to do what I had to do with Austria.
Nice job. You didn't pick communism. The only wrong answer.
What?
So, how do you like Austria barely being a country today?
It is what it is, you know? Whatever happens, I can't really do much about that.
Well, that was all I could stand to you. Let's stop this.
Next up, we have the man that literally instilled in the German people the will to rebel against all that is right. He successfully broke from the Catholic Church to start his own religion, one that focused on the teachings of the Bible. Lutheranism spread through Europe, setting up major claims in nations like England and some Germanic states. Introducing Martin Luther.
So Luger, how do you feel about inspiring Hitler to take over most of Europe?
It's Luther, and I don't know who that is, but I would say that anyone that's able to conquer Europe is a good man in my opinion.
You know, I killed a lot of Jews, right?
Okay.
Next question. There Are there any characteristics in our society that you feel people need to change or even rebel against?
Well, I find that your society is too soft. Your men are weak. I hear that some even go and get their eyebrows waxed by Orientals. I don't know how humiliating that must be to be a man and pamper yourself in such an Anthony way. It doesn't make sense to me.
Naturally. And finally, is there anything from our modern society that you wish to take with you?
Aspirin.
Why aspirin?
No reason. Just I looked it up on Wikipedia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for our guest. Cut to commercial.
Up next, we have a French revolutionary that led France to the Reign of Terror. Not only was a little too much taken off the top at his last haircut, but he inspired a nation to kill its monarch and his whole family in the worst way possible. He's also French, which is gross and disgusting, introducing Maximilian Rob's power.
As a disgusting French pig, how does it feel to be on the free American soil?
Well, the French helped the Americans with the Revolution. So as a Frenchman whose brothers help you defeat the British, I must say it feels quite nice. Almost like you owe us.
Shut up. Just shut up. That's what I thought. So, anyway, with France in its current state, do you have any advice about how they can try and improve their situation?
Well, with all the bombing going on in Europe as a whole, I wish to tell the leaders of our great continent that they need to stand together
Carrot says what?
and oust the foreign scum.
Carrot says what?
They've invaded our lands.
Carrot says what?
We need to take the trash out of Europe
Carrot
and
says
balance
what?
the power.
Carrot says what?
What?
That's what I thought. So, how do you feel about Redbeard giving us this project and how we kidnapped you from your time period?
Well, I'm happy to see the world and see what the world will look like in the future, but I must say that he was wrong to make you do this.
You died July 28th, 1794. I hope you know that.
Cool.
Next up on the agenda is my favorite of all the people I thought brought from their time period. He is a famous playwright who was part of the Admiral's Men. The most influential playwright of the 17th century, Benjamin Ben Jonson.
Whoa. Money shot.
It is truly an honor to meet you. I am a huge fan of your work. Yes, I am amazing. So you were friends with Shakespeare? Tell us about that. Friends with? Nah, fam. I was Shakespeare. Me and a bunch of playwrights, we just got together and made that fake guy who made this really awful plays, but people ate him right up, so we just never stopped, you know? That is amazing. How many English teachers worship that guy? I mean... So, tell me, what do you think about modern plays? They're very colorful and well-made, but I don't think there's as much substance as the plays in my time. You know, we made things that meant something. Very interesting. And what do you think about the movie I showed you? Oh yeah, Shrek is hands down one of the best pieces of entertainment I've ever witnessed.
Jesus Christ.
And how about your wife and children? I don't want them in the spotlight, and they don't want it either. So, you know, I just feel like that type of thing leads to divorce. And America knows about divorce, so. Absolutely inspiring. That's all the time we have, so it was great having you.
Something always brings me back to you. It never takes too long. No matter what I say or do, I still feel you here till the moment I'm gone.
I don't give a fuck. Tell these stuff someone my name.
Oh yeah, and Joey, we're about to be live.
Oh, are we? I'm texting somebody, so
We put this in the blooper reel. Yeah, we are live right now, Joey.
Oh, and what was I gonna say to her?
That's
Slowly stick your tongue out.
right, Joey.
eat Gary's food.
Hey, Joey.
Oh, it's echoing.
I can't even open my eyes. It's so early.
It's 12 o'clock.
Anywho,
You sign anytime, Joey.
Alright,
When
yeah,
you're
I got
comfortable.
you. Up next, we have a French revolutionary that led France through the Reign of Terror. Not only was a little too much taken off the top at his last haircut, but he inspired a nation to kill its monarch and his whole family. In the worst way possible. I'm glad you picked up on that,
Thanks.
Steven.